welcome back to another episode of Turn of the Millennials. I'm Steffi.
I'm Lindy.
And today, we are going to be talking about boy bands. Now, not the boy bands that you're thinking, like the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees, the big boy bands. No, not those guys. We're touching on the more regional boy bands, the more local, maybe the more lesser known boy bands of the
But
time.
still ultimately fabulous boy
They
bands.
were all amazing.
Rocked our worlds.
We purchased many of their CDs, which we still have in our collection here, guys. So
I wasn't about to go digging it for mine, guys.
Listen to
have
that,
them,
guys. CDs, jewel cases. So
physical music.
I still have some of these lesser known boy bands in the collection. So first
I can't
off,
wait though I can't wait for we're totally gonna have an NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys episode. We have to.
100%. But I've already been told that when we do the big one, Prime is supposed to join us. He specifically said he wanted to be on for the big guns.
Okay.
So.
We should get one more person and do like a team Backstreet Boy, team NSYNC.
Ooh, yes.
You're Backstreet Boys, right? I'm NSYNC.
I mean, I started with Backstreet Boys and then I went to NSYNC later, but I also have, as we'll find out here, I also kind of loved.
You could vibe for team.
I can vibe for Team BSB. I just saw them in concert on Canada Day, so I can vibe with Team BSB. Like that first album, which I have also here in the CD stack of my. See, I have two stacks: lesser known boy bands and the actual known boy bands, and I have the OG one there, which was so good, right?
And Backstreet Boys.
I do have the full NSYNC collection.
Yeah,
that one.
So do I.
The original BSB there, not the American re-release, the original Canadian BSB, and Hanson Snowed In is in that pile.
Yep, still don't own that one.
Right?
Okay.
Oh, of
still
course
haven't got on that. There's no point. I have Spotify now.
And Home for the Holidays is over there as well too. But it's nice to have just because, just in case. But on that note,
Spotify doesn't have it. Like they don't have Take 5 as the first album. They have the second, but not the first.
Sometimes it's good to still have physical CDs, guys. On that note, we're going to go into our millennial moment. So, at the beginning of this, I didn't really have a millennial moment, but I'm just going to give them to mine quickly because Lindy decided to show me one of our lesser, possibly known boy bands, but still known boy bands, O-Town's calendar from 2002, y'all. That just made me feel old because that's 20 years ago. This calendar is literally 20 years this year.
I can use it again in another 3 years.
Awesome. There you go. Yes, because calendars, if people didn't know or realize.
In 2025, I can use it again. So.
Yeah. Calendars actually repeat themselves after about every 7 to 8 years, give or take.
Yep.
So if you have old calendars.
Factor in leap years.
Yep. Keep them because guess what? You'll get to use them again. So what was your millennial moment?
Wait. Okay, so this one I've been sitting on for a little bit. Okay, so there's this girl that I work with. She's probably about 19 or 20 years old. I love her to death. She's such a sweetheart. And we got to talking about music one day because she heard me singing along to one of the many punk cover Disney songs that I listened to, which Colors of the Wind by Suburban Legend. Awesome. Fabulous cover. Anyway, so I think that's probably the song I was singing along to. And so we started talking about music and I was telling her how much I really liked. When I was her age, I was more into the punk and the ska and the emo or whatever. And she's like, "What's ska?" And I'm like, "Okay, that's cool. You're 19. That's okay. I can let that one slide, not knowing ska." So I was like, "It's basically punk music with trumpets to dumb it down, just for her to kind of understand where the music comes from." Whatever,
and then there's the meme where it's ska music is like a teenage boy getting mozzarella sticks after school. That's the music he would be listening to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, so she was like, "Oh, who?" So I was trying to think of ones that she might know that were something like ska. And I was just like, well, the Mighty Boss Tones, maybe.
Sublime, kind of, sort of.
I mentioned a couple. And then I was like, oh, and I recently found out that No Doubt has actually been classified as a ska band.
In the first few years, yes.
Yeah. And she goes, "Who's No Doubt?"
What?
And I'm like, "Do you know who Gwen Stefani is?" She goes, "Oh, yeah, she's on The Voice." I'm like, that was her band.
Oh, gosh.
She didn't know she was in a band.
What? That breaks my heart.
I think she probably came onto the scene with Gwen Stefani when she was like post
BANANS
or BANANAS.
Oh, jeez, gosh, that hurts. Because Tragic Kingdom was the best album ever.
Oh, so I told her, no doubt, Tragic Kingdom, but I haven't talked to her about it since, like,
to see what her outcome is of it yet.
Yeah, I haven't actually worked with her lately. I just happened to luck out, be working in the same room with her that time, but I haven't worked in that room in months now, so I haven't really worked with her, so I don't really get to see her that often. So I haven't really had a chance to talk to her about it, but I gave her like a ton of fucking band names. I'm just like, I gave her a list, like I wrote them all down.
Yeah,
like including like Goldfinger and Newfound Glory,
Big Fish, Say Ferris,
Real Big Fish, Catch 22, and like all of that. And yeah, so I'm interested to see if she's listened to any of them and what her thoughts are on it.
Oh, that makes me so sad. So, on that note, we're going to go to a more lighthearted note. Boy bands!
I don't know about you, Steph, but I don't classify myself as an uber teeny bopper.
Yes, we were like the uber teeny boppers. I even was so teeny boppered because in Canada, I got BSB right from the beginning. I have photos and tickets of me from Backstreet Boys seeing them at the Warehouse, which is an old school, like, you know, small venue, kind of a nightclub type place. We actually got to meet them before, like they had a signing at Sam the Record Man. They were still small because the Americans hadn't found them.
With the store staff.
Right, Sam the Record Man. This was 97, January 97. Come on, I know I'm dating myself. Trust me, I'm aware. But so like Backstreet Boys, like right out the gate, in love with them, and they were just the greatest. Where was I going with my story? Oh, sorry.
Teeny bopper,
yes. So yes, straight out the gate, like I was in love with them, and then after like them, I was just hooked. So like everyone that came out after, I was either like looking at the CDs, looking into them. My dad would take me to the used bookstore in Kitchener, and I would go and pick up like Quebec French magazines because they would have like Backstreet Boys and Spice Girls articles that you couldn't get like over here, like a full on teeny bopper. And Lindy's just gradually raising up a photo or video of her room, which was filled with beyond posters. I remember this room so well.
How many Justin Timberlakes can you see in that picture?
I was a JC
Probably
girl,
more than 10.
Right? So yes, we were ultimate teeny boppers.
There's one more.
Yeah, with that stereo.
That's the stereo I was talking about.
That's the 2-disc stereo in the last episode, guys.
Oh, fuck. With all the stickers on it. Oh, God, guys. Oh.
So
my creepy ass doll at the top of my top shelf. Look at that. That creepy ass doll next to my Tickle Me Elmo and my Zeddy doll from Zellers
that we brought up in another episode as well, guys.
Yes.
So yes, all teeny bopper. We consumed all of the bands, all of the pop music, all of the everything that we possibly could at all times. I remember
where I was the first time I saw Britney Spears, Baby One More Time. Yeah.
And
I remember seeing Christina for the first time and being like, well, I think Britney has competition.
Like I remember being so like in the pulse of on these bands, that there were bands that I knew that people didn't even know or whatever. Like I was just balls to the wall.
Yeah. You like knew all of them.
Did you like this list? Did you know there was someone here? I'm sure you were like
half of them I did not know. See? I'm pretty sure there's like half of them I didn't know. Cause like I was going through it and I'm like, hold on, I have to get to the list 1 second. I thought I was on it, but I wasn't.
In the search of this, I was making in my own like YouTube playlist because I had to watch some of these. I had to listen to these because there were some that were just like either I vaguely remembered their names, but I didn't remember the songs they sang or things like that. Some of them I was like, oh yeah, I remember them. What the hell was this? Like, why were they?
Yeah, like I don't know who Another Level is. Code Red sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, but it's also not the pop.
That was Europe though too.
Yes.
But yeah, like I know
I couldn't find much information on those two either.
I know a lot, like almost all of these ones.
The USA.
Yeah.
And then
Peaches and Cream. What a great song.
So, I basically as I was doing my research for a lot of this, guys, I did break it down between Europe, USA, and Canada. Just because those were sort of the big markets that a lot of the bands came out of.
Oh yeah. I read it and I'm just like, oh my God, Serial Joe. I totally forgot about them.
I put them on there even though they weren't necessary.
Was their song Skid Row?
So we'll just go balls to the walls and start with Canada, y'all, because this is where we're from and these are our boy bands. So Serial Joe, and since Lindy's already there, was basically, and whether they were a Canadian boy band or just not. So they were a bunch of teenage boys that happened to come out in the middle of the boy band era, but they were more of like a rock band, but they were like 15 years old and they were kind of cute. And the lead singer was in the video for Our Lady Peace's Superman's Dead, that guy, the little kid roaming around in the room.
Yeah.
So
and then in this one, he's got like cool guy tips.
Yep. Cool. And then in the spiky, spiky tips all over the place.
I've never seen so much spiky haired cool guy tips that I did today when I was watching these music videos.
All these music videos. Because there was, that was the thing.
Was the only way I could listen to them was on YouTube.
What, YouTube? So a lot of bleached hair, a lot of spiky hair, a lot of twisty spikes, a lot of just... A lot of gel going down in the millennial
hard ass hair,
a lot of gel in the millennial guys.
I'll admit I was guilty of it myself when I got my hair cut in a pixie cut.
It happens. It happens. You know, it's got to be styled. But now we've learned you need more pomades or things like that, not just gel anymore. So, so they had Skid Row, like you said, or Mistake. They were out of Newmarket. So then we have VIP, or Voices in Public, as they called it. They were out of Barrie, Ontario. I don't know if you remember the song Just My Luck, which when I listened to it... I
do remember it. It's the only song I know of there.
I think it was... There might have been one other song, I think, Looking, that they might have released. But yeah, that was the only one that really, I think, got released. And it's kind of silly. It's kind of funny listening to it nowadays.
Is the music video for this song, are they like walking around like on a beach?
No, I think that's the other one, maybe the other one they released. This one is them like
video they had. Okay.
This one they're like in a hallway and then they're acting out the scenes that are going on, like the girl who kisses another girl, or that's what that one is they interact, like they actually make
Okay, I guess that my YouTube algorithm skipped that one today. So yeah. I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah, it's just man. So a lot of these are all on, most of these I think are all on YouTube, guys. So if you have any questions or any look of who they are, I also have a YouTube playlist, which maybe I'll link, but so good. You'll find them all.
And I got to make a note though, for listeners out there who were like us, obsessed with like the hit list on Friday night. Like that's where you would hear a lot of this music.
Especially when Ashna and them took over, not so much when Tarzan Dan was on.
Not so much with Tarzan Dan, but like after, the furniture turned into like bubble
furniture. Yep.
You'll recognize a lot of these bands, hopefully, if you were as obsessed with
and a few of them did make the crossovers to the States, not too many of them, but a few of them did make some crossovers. Like, for instance, Soul Decision. I know they had, It's Kind of Crazy, did make its way to the States. Faded, I believe, also did. They're out of Vancouver.
I still hear them on the radio every fucking day.
Oh, I still hear them quite a bit as well. And fun fact, if y'all don't know, this is What It Feels Like by David Guetta. That is actually Trevor Guthrie's voice, and he's in the music video. Oh. It's funny, yeah. So go back and listen to that one because he's still out and about making music, still doing his thing.
Have we told our story about when we almost met Soul Decision?
When we almost met them? I don't think we did. I don't think we have.
I know we touched on it in, I think, the Britney episode.
Okay.
Because that was the day we first heard Oops, I Did It Again.
Okay, yes.
We were at the gas station on our way to pick up you at the Sky Dome because you were at some sort of like Girl Guide sleepover or something.
Yes, the Millennium sleepover at Sky Dome.
Before Four.
Girl Guides. Yes, with Before Four, which was another Canadian band that is on our list.
We'll come back to them in just
a moment.
You're going to want to stick around for this conversation.
Oh, and that CD I also have, which is in my car actually, because I enjoy that CD, but I do have that CD from that stack.
Yeah, so it was me and Catherine and Danielle and you. Me, Catherine, and Danielle, all three of us were still doing the 30-hour famine.
I think I have a picture somewhere of the three of you standing outside of the mall actually on that day. I'll have to go looking for it, but I think I do.
You have one. Yes, it does exist.
It does exist.
I don't know where it is, but it does exist. I've seen it.
Yes.
I was wearing my glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Danielle has a red jacket, I believe.
Yes. Or me.
Yeah, one of you two.
I'm wearing her white one. Anyway, so we waited. So the four of us, and your dad is driving.
As always. Yay, Daddy.
I think Sheila was there, right? Probably. Anyway.
I don't think so.
Not important. The three of us are fucking starving, and we go to the mall to meet Soul Decision, and we show up like what, an hour early maybe, or just on time.
Yeah.
So we're like near the end of the line, but there's still a huge line behind us. 3 hours later, we're not very, like, we're close.
Yeah.
And Soul Decision had already stayed, unbeknownst to us, an hour past that they were supposed to sign as many autographs as they could.
Because it was so
We
busy.
got to like maybe 3 people in front of us before it was our turn. And they fucking left. They left.
I do have pictures of them that where it was like pretty close of them just walking out, and I was like, no.
Yep. I gotta say, like, I was pissed, but I got it. I understood. Like, I was frustrated and mad because I was also very hangry because I have not eaten at this point in 36 hours.
And you're a teeny bopper, you know, you're a little upset.
Yes. So suffice to say, I was very disappointed, but I understood why they had to leave. Like, I wasn't mad at them. I was just
mad at the situation.
Yes. And that's a memorable day for me for fucking ever. And then we stopped at McDonald's on the way home. I scarfed down a Big Mac so fucking fast, I threw it up like an hour later. Like right after your dad dropped me off, like I felt like shit the second we got back in the van.
Oh yeah.
And then like 40-minute drive back to the house. And because we stopped at that McDonald's and Petro or whatever.
That used to be a McDonald's. It's now just a
McDonald's and Petro. Yeah. Now it's an en route.
Ugh.
But so yeah. So that was that day.
Yeah. And so before we go of the people on our list, I have met VIP. We were almost met Soul Decision. I met Wave. I met Serial Joe. And I didn't get to meet B44. No, but I got to see them in concert and everything like that. So that's pretty freaking cool. Because again, like we said, crazy teeny bopper.
I met
and you said you almost met Soul Decision. Almost
met Soul Decision. I'm seeing if and that's it. Because I haven't met a lot of famous people.
These were all at those signings at stores and stuff like that.
Season 1 winner of Canada's Next Top Model.
Ooh, Andrea something.
No, I don't know. Rebecca, okay. From Mannheim. I saw her at. I want to say it's Dallas.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I think her.
I think it was Dallas that we were at.
I guess next we would have B44, which, like we said, I got to on that same Soul Decision weekend. I was at a Girl Guide event for the Millennium at the Skydome, and we actually got to see the first night. The big act that they were advertising was the Boomtank Boys, but then the next day another little act that was on the side was B44, so that was kind of fun. I believe they got a little bit of crossover in the States because the song was just hilarious, but they were out of Toronto, Ontario, basically, and it was Get Down. If you get down on me. Now I have this album and I actually enjoy the rest of the album.
It is a good album. They have good songs.
A good voice, good vocals, good songs. Like, I don't know. It's a little sad that Get Down was the lead song. And like Go Go, that was one of the videos that I was watching.
So good.
I was like, I totally forgot it. Like, so
you know that Get Down song, like releasing that one first, that was the idea of like the manager, the studio, or whatever. They're like, grab their attention with a song so ridiculous and we're totally gonna deny what it's about for years
until like
last year.
I think something like that. Something like that in 2020, maybe very recently.
Where they finally admitted that it is indeed, in fact, about oral sex.
It is about oral sex, because if you get down,
and anybody with eyeballs or
eardrums,
the lyrics, or anyone who could hear the lyrics knows that's what it was about. There was no fucking denying it. You couldn't. You just fucking couldn't.
No.
and then, we had so much fun singing that song.
So good. It was so good. We also have Wave, which was another Ontario from Niagara Falls, actually. Going to California.
I listened to that song today and I tried to picture it as the OC theme song and it just didn't go.
Didn't go? No. However, it's funny. There is on I think I hear it on the Country Canada one. This guy Eric Etheridge did a remake of it as for a country remake, like not countrified, but just like he's just a country artist who did it, and I was like, That is hilarious that someone remembered this song. Not only remembered the song, but also liked it that they wanted to redo it. Like, I love the song,
Liked
but
it enough to, yeah,
right?
to make a cover of it.
It was just kind of like funny because it was an old obscure song from like 2002, like a Canadian bands that weren't not like they were huge or anything. You know,
Yeah.
it's really funny that I just
Interesting.
right?
I have to give that a listen tomorrow.
Yeah. It's hilarious. So then we had McMaster and James, which they were kind of a boy band, but not really a boy band. They were just like a
They
duo
were a
of
duo.
guys who
Like
weren't terrible looking. So then fortunately got classed under the boy because basically if you came out at this time and you were pretty, you were under a boy band, whether you were a group, duo, trio, clearly a rock
actual
band,
band.
right? Actual
Yeah.
band. You were just classified as a boy band, boy group.
Yeah.
So McMaster and James kind of got put under that one. Same with
Yeah,
Sky.
I totally forgot about McMaster and Sky. Sky, I still fucking hear as often as Soul Decision.
Yeah, so well, but those two kind of came under the boy band when they weren't really
Yes.
boy
Sky
bands.
is another duo too.
It is another duo. Yes, exactly.
So, but they were good.
They were good. Some Kind of Wonderful and Love Song.
Yeah, the lead singer kind of reminds me of Spike.
I always said that too.
The red shirt and then like the bleached hair.
The bleached hair. I know. Me and my sister always thought the same thing too.
Because that song probably was out around the same time that Buffy was out. So
100%.
Inspiration.
Me and Danielle, maybe I don't know if it's
Some Kind of Wonderful. The lyrics, I've never actually looked them up. Does it actually say something about her making like a mean pasta or something?
A mean steak, maybe?
Or that she has horns?
Yes.
I never understood that song, but I liked it.
It's a good song. It's a good song.
And love song. It's a love song. Dun, 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 dun.
And then we had, yes, we continue. So that they were actually out of Quebec, Montreal. So they were one of our more Eastern people. Because, yeah, most of them usually come out of Ontario or BC. That tends to be the big launching pads. Or maybe Alberta. But those tend to be a lot of the big launching pads for most people just because they're the big city areas where you're probably more likely to just have stuff.
Well, Toronto is like Canada's New York.
Sort of, yeah.
BC is kind of like Canada's California.
Yeah.
Like Vancouver would be like their LA without the weather.
I mean, Vancouver is still pretty nice, like for weather-wise, seeing as it is East
Canada.
It's still
it is still
like, pretty mild.
It doesn't get the coldest, but
yeah. Then we had Distinct Nature, which had a song "Human," which I vaguely kind of remember. I don't remember the group as much, but I do remember that song.
Familiar?
I think it's "I'm Only Human" or something. I don't know.
Sounds familiar, but I'm not
vaguely.
Sure.
Then we had Jake, which was a Christian group that tried to cross over into pop, I guess.
Never heard of them.
Again, I was going deeper. I'm going deep dives.
Yeah.
Deep dives, lots of weird things. So ID, which was another one.
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, vaguely.
Didn't tell you the song or anything.
No, but I remember them towards the end of it. 3 Deep, which I do remember them, which was Eddie Cibrian, and one of the other soap star guys, Josh something or another, and then some third guy.
3 Deep, like, is that what they mean by 3 Deep? Like, is it 3 Knuckles?
I know it has to do because the fact there's 3 of them in the group.
Like, that's triple P. I don't know.
And then
super sexual. I'm really sorry if that made anyone uncomfortable.
Right? Yeah, they had like 1 or 2 songs, I think, that kind of sort of made the Canadian Much Music countdowns. Oh, Much Music countdowns. And then after that, it became Punch Much later, and so sad. So sad the day of when music videos came off TV. Yeah, made me sad.
And now, like, music videos, like, they're still being made, but now I'm just like, because everybody makes fucking mini movies out of their music videos now, and I don't want to fucking sit through that.
I don't always want to have to sit through that. Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, I got time for that, but I don't want to fucking sit through it.
No, because sometimes I just want to listen to your song without having a mini movie before putting it on.
With lyric or like with dialogue and stuff. Like, I just want to listen to the
like a whole mini movie, like 8 minutes for a 2.5 minute song. What are you talking about, guys? And then lastly, we have the Muffets from BC.
Yay! Who I've seen twice.
They started out as like a little cute country group with 4 brothers. And
BC.
then, yep. And then
Oh, the caterpillar crawl.
yep.
Yes.
And then
Fucking
they
yes.
made their way over to the pop charts.
Yep.
They
We had
had
Scott and triplets,
Clint.
Bob, Dave, and Clint.
Yeah. Two of them do a YouTube channel where they kind of play music around like BC and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Well, Bob and Clint are identical twins.
Yeah.
Dave is their triplet. I was a Scott fan.
I think I was like Clint more. I think that's who I liked. If I remember correctly, I think that's who it was. They had Chapter 1 of New Beginnings, which actually had two releases, the Canadian release and then the second re-release to kind of bring it into the States. Because, Americans had no idea with Canadian. Apparently the Americans were very bad at and receptive with boy bands. Like they didn't accept NSYNC and, Backstreet Boys at first, they didn't accept Moff. Like they were so hard with accepting boy bands. Yes, Canada and Europe were like, give us more. We want all the boy bands.
I don't know. I would disagree about that with Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
The Americans didn't get on Backstreet Boys until their second album.
Really?
Yes. If you go and you look in the realm, so we have the red covered Backstreet Boys album, which I showed you. And then I think it was the next year, we got Backstreet's Back, which was them standing kind of against a wall. Bluish sort of. Yeah, but not the Millennium one, but them where it's like
not the Millennium one. No, like this was like it looked like a really bad acid wash blue.
Yes. Yeah. And then that one in the States is actually released as Backstreet Boys, and it has a combination of the first album songs and the second album songs.
Really?
It's not, yes. And then they caught up to us on Millennium.
Then what about NSYNC? Is it like the same thing?
I think
they
until
No Strings Attached, or
actually Germany. So even better. So NSYNC didn't actually. They started out in Europe before they even came to Canada.
I know that because of fucking Luke and whatever, but
not even that. Well, because of he wanted them in a different market. But me and Danielle were watching. It was like the 97 MMVAs or something, and they were showing the Much Music entities in different countries, and one of them was called Yerky. I think it was in Germany, and they showed like a clip of Backstreet Boys, or not Backstreet Boys, NSYNC performing in that one.
You talked about this with Ed the Sock.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I mean. So they were actually in Europe first, then they kind of branched to Canada, sort of just before the States. Like I think we have their first one, but I don't know if they got I think they kind of got No Strings Attached, because that was what No Strings Attached was, the first album when they weren't attached to like the label and Lou Pearlman. So I think that's when they finally like broke into Canada and the States, was No Strings Attached. Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know. But enough of the big boy bands.
Yeah, enough of the big boy bands.
Let's
go little boy bands.
Let's go back to little boy bands. So
little boy bands. Now what are we on?
That's all I think of Canada. Now we might as well go to the States, because we're talking about the big bands who are from the US. So where do you want to start? There was quite a few of them from the States. We have some pop ones, we have some country ones, and we have some hip hop ones. We really like boy bands of all natures, really, It
really did. I don't know. I know I want to talk about Together and Take 5.
Okay, so Together was basically around from 99 to 2001, peak boy band time. They were an MTV show / movie that was made to basically make fun of boy bands.
So it was basically a boy band parody of shows like Making the Band.
Or even just boy bands in general, not even just Making the Band, but just boy bands in general, because they had
I guess. It's been a long time since I watched it.
Yeah, because there was one who was more like the gangster one, the pretty one, the baby face, and then they had like a big chubby older guy, and the love of like, so they all had some kind of like part
the lovable
to play,
dopey one,
right? Which was Chris Farley's brother, who actually played the older,
bigger older
guy.
Kevin Farley.
Yeah, Kevin Farley. Hardest part of breaking up is getting back your stuff. You plus me equals us equals calculus.
Oh, they had the best fucking song titles, and like they just I still listen to them.
Again, lots of just making fun of like even the songs were making fun of boy bands. It was just everything about them was just making fun of boy bands. They were hilarious.
I love Together. I remember coming to school the one day, the day that Michael Cuccione died.
Yeah.
He played QT.
QT.
Cutie, QT. That Irish, whatever.
Because he was supposed to be the cute guy.
So when I think of Together, the first thing that pops into my head, because it was such a memorable scene, I think it was in the movie, not the show, but I think it was the movie where the character's name is Chad, the actor's name is Noah.
Yep.
So Chad and I think their heartthrob, Jay, I think was his name.
I think
dark
so.
hair, Jerry.
Jerry.
So Chad and Jerry were talking, and they were talking about how much money they were going to make. And Chad talks about, he's like, well, it's probably a buttload. And he goes, well, how much do you think would be a buttload was, is what Jerry asked. And he goes, oh, probably like $1,000. And he goes, well, what makes you think that? And he goes, well, I once shoved a $5 bill up my butt, and I'm sure I could fit a heck of a lot more to equal like $1,000.
And that is how we measure a buttload.
I don't know why that scene just always stuck out in my head.
Right?
Because it was just so fucking ridiculous.
See? Again, making fun of boy bands, guys.
Oh, good. It's Mickey the bad boy.
Yeah, Mickey the bad boy, which I've seen him in a bunch of like small parts in movies nowadays.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah.
It's good to see he's at least still doing stuff.
Yeah.
Then kind of the next one we had, which I found was kind of, I feel like they had good stuff, but they never really got necessarily the credit. They were in you had them in your binder or your planner right there. No Authority. They were a quartet of guys. They were actually signed to Michael Jackson's label, and they were a little bit more of like an R&B sort of group, versus more of like the pop, like teeny bopper pop type thing.
There's two of them.
There's two.
I don't know their names. I had to ask Steph if she knew
I think
they were from.
Tommy and Ricky, maybe. I believe that. I think so. I can't remember. I'd have to. Yeah. It's been a long time since then, but yeah. Oh, yes, that one with the holographic cover. So as I was going through and listening to them, they had Can I Get Your Number? That was what one of my millennial moments was, actually listening to that song, because they said, Can I get your number? Hit me with the 7 digits, baby.
Oh, now we need 10.
How long has it been since we've had 7-digit dialing? That was going to be my millennial moment. That was going to be it.
How long has it been?
It's been a while. I don't even want to.
At least, I'm going to say at least 15
I was going to say 15,
if not
probably
longer.
So
20
yeah.
maybe?
Well, they were out in like 96 to 01. So it hasn't been 20 years because we were still doing 7 digits in like 01, 02. So.
Okay, so it was. Wow.
But one of their other songs, Don't Stop, was actually written and produced by Darkchild. And yeah, now I found out when I was going through research, they have their own podcast, Bad Boys of Pop podcast with Tommy and Eric, which I think might have been the two that are actually in the photo, possibly. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
Possibly.
Right? Possibly. So yeah, there's another one. And they were in all, like, I remember seeing them in Tiger Beat, Teen Beat, like all of the magazines, but they never seemed to be able to get them up here in Canada. Like I could never find their albums up here for some reason. I could never really, like, they didn't get the crossover up here. They were really more just in the States, I found. I'd have to go to, when we went to the States, I'd have to get them.
Because nearing the early 2000s, like 03, 04, people started getting sick of boy bands.
Mm-hmm.
And they started to die out a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that a lot of them didn't make it because of how late they were coming to the game.
Well, they were 96 to 01, so they were prime game. But either way.
And that is a marketing problem.
Yes.
Or they were not marketed properly.
They didn't put them in the proper markets. Exactly. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, if you started out in the States but didn't go to Canada or Europe, it's like you failed almost.
Build a following first.
Right? Because unfortunately,
the States... Josie suggested, but she didn't need that. Right. They had subliminal messaging.
And I mean, sorry, guys, but as much as the Americans want to say that they're lead powerhouses, clearly Canada and Europe were way better powerhouses when it came to the pop boy bands in that era. We knew what was going on. We got them the fan base, and y'all just were bandwagoners. It's true. When it comes to boy bands, they were.
No, you're right.
I'm not saying for everything, but boy bands, they were 100%
Boy bands for
bandwagoners.
sure. Yeah,
100%
absolutely.
they were bandwagoners. So next we got LFO, Light Funky Ones. They ran from 95 to 02, 09 to 10, and then from 17 to 18. And unfortunately, two of the three members have since passed on. Devin and Rich are no longer with us. They were one of the Lou Pearlman groups, Summer Girls, Girl on TV. Rich passed in 2010, Devin in 2018.
I remember watching the episode of the Hit List where they showed like a behind the scenes, making of their video for Summer Girls.
Yeah.
And they had a contest winner in it.
Yeah. They brought out, like, let's be real, that song put Abercrombie and Fitch back on a map.
Yeah.
No one really knew or cared who they were again. And then after that, it really just flew. Michael J. Fox was Alex P. Keaton.
That was another band that girl that I was telling you about. That
didn't know No Doubt.
No, not that one. Earlier, the one that's older than me. What were we talking about earlier? That she didn't. Oh, she didn't know five. She didn't know five. So she didn't fucking know LFO either. And I sang like Summer Girls for her. I was like, New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. Chinese food makes me sick. And they went on and on. And she's like, no. I'm like, you never even heard that on the fucking radio. It was so overplayed.
Overplayed that summer. Like, annoyingly overplayed.
Yeah, I was just like, like, what? Same with like, Baby When the Lights Go Out. There was a run where it was played quite a bit.
I guess you had to be on the right station for that one, but Summer Girls was on like Chum FM, like it was on all of them. Not only like Energy and Hot 103, it was on Chum, it was on Chime, it was on even the adult pop contempt stations, for sure. So from one Lou Pearlman group, I guess, to another set of Lou Pearlman groups, there is LMNT, which was actually made from O-Town Audition rejects. So it's actually called Element, but it's spelled LMNT. They ran from 2000 to 03.
I just made the most obvious connection inside my head.
What?
Because I'm looking at their list, and I'm looking at the thing where you have a lot of it saying Lou Pearlman, Lou Pearlman, Lou Pearlman, because he created a lot of fucking boy bands for his fucking con.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a lot of these bands are in Long Shot. Duh, because that was a fucking Lou Pearlman production.
Probably a transcontinental production.
God damn it, Lindy,
which is actually upstairs. I have that DVD upstairs.
I have it downstairs.
Right. So yes.
Our episode on that one.
Right. What? Soon enough. Yeah. Soon enough. So Element.
I should have picked that one for my birthday.
Right. Next year.
No, it's within the decade. It's fine.
Sure. So they were made, like I said, from O-Town Audition rejects / Akai actually made the band and then just decided to leave. And it actually included Mr. Schuster from Glee. He was also in it.
That's funny.
Yep. We had, I guess, another one that was also part of it just because they were part of it as well. Your favorite band, Take Five.
Take Five. Oh my God, I love this band so much.
They ran from 97 to 2001, it says, but I feel like it might have been a little later than that.
I never had it so good.
I feel like we were still listening to them in 2002.
My life, like I knew you would.
So yes, another Lou Pearlman entity, made up of 5 boys. Lindy loved them. I had a crush on Tilky as well, which later he was on a few episodes of Nashville, and I was just like, oh, it's so funny seeing you later.
Hill. He was in like 2 or 3 episodes of One Tree Hill. But
I think Nashville was actually later than One Tree Hill.
Whatever, doesn't matter. I have him as a friend on my Facebook.
He was older. He was wiser.
I was a Clay person, Clay girl. I loved Clay.
And TJ.
I loved Clay.
Katie
loves Stevie. I'm really curious to know where Stevie is these days.
I think Danielle liked Stevie too as well.
Yeah, and then who's it? Oh no, my friend Katie. Katie liked Ryan. Katie liked Ryan.
Right.
And Catherine liked Tilky.
And then there was TJ as well.
And TJ, yeah. So yeah, Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ryan's wife Nikki DeLoach. She was in that band Essence. I think it's called Essence. I think it's called Essence. Or Innocence, maybe?
Innocence sounds right.
Innocence? I don't know, but she plays the mom in the TV show Awkward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty interesting. I was listening to Take 5 Today too. I had to fucking watch it all on YouTube because the first album is not on fucking Spotify. Somebody fix that.
Sometimes it's licensing.
Whatever. Their second album was on it, and I gotta say, I do remember them being on Much Music, like live on Much Music for their second album.
Yeah, so like they did Shake It Off and stuff like that. Yeah,
they broke in their second album, but that was too.
Well, they played it on Hit List quite a bit. They played a few of their songs on Hit List a lot, but they didn't.
And then like the big crossover. The Psycho Blast. They were at Psycho Blast at Canada's Wonderland that one year.
Yeah.
And I tried to find my pictures. They're probably in my bucket.
Yeah.
But I have so many fucking
crap things
of pictures. I wouldn't be able to find them. Yeah. But Chantel from school, like from high school, she gave me copies of a bunch of her pictures from Psycho Blast because I couldn't go.
Yeah.
And she was like right up close, so I got really good pictures of them.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chantel.
Right.
I wonder if she remembers that.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Next we have Dream Street, which was Jesse McCartney's starting boy band. A bunch of boys from the New York City Broadway acting scene. They ran from 99 to 02. And then Jesse McCartney, obviously, we know.
I know of them. I know Jesse McCarthy, but I can't say I know his band.
Again, one of the ones that were just sort of, I think they were a lot younger. Like they were like the 12, like to like the 15-year-old.
Oh my God, like
probably
TBTBT.
And probably a lot on like the Disney Channel, like stuff and things like that. A lot of those sort of songs and stuff.
Do you remember TBTBT?
No, I remember you saying them, but I know nothing of them.
Oh.
I remember you always saying you love them, but I have them.
They have a couple of really good songs on their album. And they were like, they age ranged from like 11 to like 13.
Oh, okay. So
that's why that made me think of that. That's why.
Yeah. Then we had C Note, which I've never heard of that specifically, but I found them. They were from 97 to 08. They were a Latino boy band from Orlando. They were part of Transcon Latino, another Lou Pearlman group.
I think I saw them on Facebook on the hit list a couple of times. It just goes to show you, like, that's just, I saw it on you just automatically say you on Facebook. You just automatically say it.
Saw it on Facebook. I saw it on Facebook. I saw it on Facebook.
On Facebook. I saw it, whatever. Yeah. No, saw it on the hit list.
Yep.
I saw their videos a couple of times, but I can't say they made an impression on me anyway.
Yeah. So as you can tell, Lou Pearlman clearly had the pulse on the boy bands, and we now know why, because most of us have probably seen the boy band con on YouTube, and how much of a just gross piece of crap he was. Like, he may have turned out great.
Big piece of garbage human is what he was.
Yeah, but he produced some great boy bands, so we can't fault him at that. But everything else, be gone with him.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we can say good things for is you created us some good boy bands.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can add them, but they're kind of sort of like, they were middle of the road. So the the quintessential, I guess, of the Lou Pearlman bands, because he was, this is actually, I kind of think, what sort of, besides the Real World, really started reality TV and the competition as we sort of know it nowadays. So he came up with an idea to create. Lindy's got her planner filled with Jacob and her shrine to Jacob in the back.
My shrine to Jacob here. Look, it's just.
Yeah. So Lou Pearlman basically had an idea to create a boy band from scratch and to videotape the whole entire thing. It was on ABC as part of their Friday night lineups, TGIF. And so it was, like I said, it was kind of the basis now of what is like Top Model and all of these other competition series, because there wasn't anything out at that time. And yeah, he might not have had it the exact formula. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe me and my sister were actually saying that Ken Mock actually has producing credits in it, because on our other one right now, Manufacture the Group podcast, we are actually doing O-Town this season. And I believe, look, in our going through, Ken Mock has some credits on making the band, who he later did all of the Top Models and yada yada yada.
Okay.
Yeah. So they are still together. They went from 2000 to 03, and then they got back together in 2013 to present. The only one who's not in the band anymore is Ashley Parker Angel, which on his Instagram, I believe he's doing like fitness stuff, it looked like, or a personal trainer or something.
Wow, that's good for him.
But other than that, the other four are still together performing as O-Town. They were actually in Toronto recently or something like that.
Really?
Or they were going to be in Toronto recently. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen something about it. Mm-hmm.
Really? Oh, he doesn't have dreads anymore.
Well, of course not. It's been like 20 years. Come on.
So?
They would be nasty in 20 years.
Well, plus, it's cut them off and grow them again.
Well, plus some people like to change their hairstyle. Not everyone wants to keep the same hairstyle for years. So yes, this was Lindy's. Lindy had an obsession with Jacob. This was her band for a bit.
Oh, and I found my Jacob bracelet too. It's downstairs in like the garage or something.
Ah, nice.
Tiffany made me one that said Jacob. It's like this big, out of like beads, like good big beads.
Yeah, the plastic or colorful ones or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, remember those days.
Nostril size.
Yep. So good. Remember those days.
Oh yeah.
So then we had into our kind of more hip hop boy band realm. We have B2K, which ran from 2000 to 04 and then 2019 to 2020. They were kind of like I said, one of the hip hop boy bands. You know. And then later Omarion went solo with Icebox. Remember how it used to be? I also do remember them like a lot in the boy band or in the Teen Beat and Tiger Beats with Marcus Houston, who was, I believe, Smart Guy. No, Sister. That was the one. I was like, not Smart Guy, Sister. And he was in like I don't know. When I was researching them with people, if you know, let me know. When I was kind of doing research, I don't know if he was like originally part of the group and left it, or he's the one who helped them get their start or something. But either way, I remember seeing him in a lot of the like, you know, boy band or the teeny magazine videos with him in them or whatever, video or photo shoots and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't answer that, but I do agree with you. Like, I've seen him a lot in like the teen magazines and stuff.
Yeah. And then there was.
Oh my God! One day you bought your last Teeny Bopper magazine and
didn't even know it. Your last Teen People. Your last Twist. Your last Tiger Beat.
YM.
Your last BB.
Your last J14.
Teen magazine.
Your last Bopper magazine.
Big Bopper.
Teen Bop.
Yeah. Rest in peace. I know they're still around. Some of them are still around. I have seen them in grocery stores, but
I saw so many posters out of those in stores.
You're terrible. So next we have 112. R&B group. They were a little bit more, I think they were probably, I guess, a little bit more older, but still they ran from 93 and they're still together to present. And from our area, the big one was like Peaches and Cream. We all know
such a good song.
So good.
Great song.
We had the obvious one that we knew, but there was the dirty one that, you know, clearly was on their albums that we weren't allowed to listen to. Then we also had Jagged Edge, which was 95 to present, another R&B group. Let's Get Married. And
Never heard of them. Never heard of them.
Where the Party At? That was one that was a big one. Let's Get Married.
Never
was
heard of them.
Big one.
Never heard of them.
Jeez, Lindy, what are you saying? You don't listen to... So this is true. Lindy was not very versed on anything else but teen music back in the day. She knew what nothing else was.
I liked what I liked and I stuck to it. Unless I accidentally heard something and liked it and went like looking for it, then I didn't really care. Like
me, I listened to anything, everything, watched all the charts, listened to all of the music. It was all the time.
Like, don't get me wrong, like now, like my Spotify, like thank God my stepson taught me about the Spotify enhanced button, because I've discovered a lot of new really good artists, new to me, really good artists that I never would have known otherwise.
Yeah.
Like I have a bunch of new favorite songs because of that. So like I'm not sheltered, I'm not stuck in my ways. Like I do branch out. I let it happen to me accidentally. If that kind of makes sense. I don't go looking for it.
I do sometimes.
Kind
It
of deal.
depends. We had Next, which was from 92 to present, which I don't know if you remember this one, Too Close. Man, I don't remember Wifey, but I'm pretty sure you remember Too
I
Close.
think so. Like it sounds
Feel a
familiar.
little coming through on you. Ooh, how I like it. Girl, you know, can't fight it. Girl, you're dancing real close. You're standing real slow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I think.
I was like,
Yeah.
I
No, I
know
think
you know this one because there's like, there literally we all made a song like because there's one part in the bridge where it's like, I feel a little oomph coming through from you, like standing too close. Come on, like I remember us making. I'm pretty sure I remember making fun of us at the trailer for that song. I'm pretty
Yeah, I'm
sure.
sure.
Couple other random ones. Youngstown, which the only thing I found from them was they were on the Inspector Gadget soundtrack at a concert with Steps on Disney Channel. And
Oh,
then
Steps. I love Steps.
right,
We have to do
Steps,
like a British,
a
like
British
deep
boy,
dive British pop
yes,
like bands.
bands group for
Yeah.
sure. And then we had two country groups. There was Emerson Drive and Marshall Dillon, which Marshall Dillon was one of the guys from O Town auditions, started that group or whatever, and made a country group of that one.
And it's funny that you mentioned Emerson Drive today because I rediscovered them again today.
Which is
Realized,
hilarious.
totally forgot. I do have their album.
Yeah, which I said I tour. I also had here, which I had to add them on at last minute because I totally forgot I had the album, and they were country boy bands. Like there's, see, literally, guys, boy bands spanned almost like every single genre. They were country, they were pop, they were R&B and hip hop. They were they were in all genres, guys.
They were my everything.
Right, or end all be all. Well, plus she also loved her pop groups as well too, like
I
Steps and
love my
AT
pop
and Spice
princesses.
Girls and Britney.
And I loved my British pop. I fucking love my British pop.
Right.
That's why the next category is exciting for me.
So now we're gonna go over the pond to Europe.
Woo! Oh, so many good bands, so many good bands.
Right? So many good bands from Europe.
And not even just boy bands either, but like
yes, just
British
groups.
bands are just awesome.
And like we said, they also were where a lot of the boy bands got some of their starts before they even got a start in the States. So Europe and the UK. So
Woo!
I feel like we've got to start with obviously Take That.
The quintessential British boy band.
British boy band that kind of started all.
Yeah, Beatles, but that's a whole other.
The new era of boy bands. They started all of the new era of boy bands. So they ran from 90 to 96 and 05 to present. Robbie Williams actually rejoined the group again in 2010. And then
did he?
He did for a little bit, and then
He
probably
was
left again.
Quite successful himself in his solo career.
Yes, he was. I think he probably just went back in 2010 because nostalgia. People were starting to be like, oh, and reunions. And I think also maybe because
was reunioning.
I think it was also the London Olympics were coming up as well too. So I think there were probably something for that. Everyone in London got together, including the Spice Girls, because it was the London damn Olympics.
Yeah.
Once in a lifetime opportunities.
He had a more successful solo career than Gary Barlow.
He did, and remember Leslie was so obsessed with Gary Barlow on the hit list.
Oh my gosh,
I got so annoyed with that.
She annoyed me
so much. But yes, Robbie Williams, my favorite video, rock DJ of his, where he pulls his skin off. But he left the group very early in their kind of success. He was in the Back for Good video, but then after that, I think he was out of there.
You know what? You know when we did our breakup songs, with formidable opponents, I kind of wish I picked that song because it's so good, and it was a song that I totally forgot about then.
Right.
Then I was listening to it today because it showed up on my YouTube algorithm, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, this is such a good not like a good breakup song, but it's a good breakup song.
Yeah.
And I should have chosen this one, but I didn't.
Shoulda, coulda, wouldas. That's okay. Shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
Sorry, guys.
Although I feel like I don't know if I can name any other Take That songs. Like I feel like that's the only one.
Absolutely not. My sister had their album and I stole it quite frequently, and there were several songs on it that I really liked, but I couldn't tell you the names of them.
I couldn't tell you any other names for the songs, even though they were the quintessential, and that's what led them. So, which would bring us on to the band that I loved of the UK bands, Five Five.
Now they're 5, but they're 3.
They're 5, but they're 3.
5, but they're 3.
Right?
They should change their name to 5 minus 2.
5 minus 2. So they ran from 97 to 07. 06, or sorry, 95 to 06, 06 to 07, and then 2012 to present. And like I said, in the present, they currently have 3 of them. And like I said, they were one of my favorites because I found that they were a little bit more on the like edgier, dirtier, rockier side. Like they were just, their music was just so good. I loved
You know
them.
what makes them fucking amazing? They not only did a cover, but they did a cover of Queen with Queen.
Right?
Obviously, sans Freddie Mercury, but he did with Deacon, Roger Taylor, and Brian May.
Right?
We're in the video. I completely forgot about that.
Yes.
I'm watching the video. I was watching the video today, and I'm like, it caught my Brian May caught my eye, and so I looked, and I'm watching it. I'm just like,
And
they're actually playing with them. Like they're not just like they weren't recorded separately and then put into the video. Like they are actually with Five. Yeah. They're just not in front of the crowd part.
Remember, Lindy, this was in like 2000s where we didn't do what's in the middle?
The white stuff.
Yes. Anyways.
Air high five.
So, yeah, Five, like I said, and they also had a lot of their songs were kind of like remakes of other songs, like Everybody Get Up and stuff.
Like Keep On Moving. I forgot how good that song
Slam
is.
Dunk the Funk, like just...
5 bad boys with the power to rock you, blowing your mind, so you gotta get into 5. What you waiting for? If you want it, 3, 2, 1, let's do it.
Right, like it's just so good. Like yes, so. Guys, if you've never listened to them, go and listen to them. They're amazing. They're the best.
So like, good.
They're so good. I feel like they are really my favorite of all of the UK
They have really good ballads too. Yes. Really good ballads.
Like, very good. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Oh, Until the Time Is Through, I think. Is it?
Until the Time Is Through, and Now and Forever.
Yep.
Now and forever.
Oh, yes. They were, yep. I think that was our, like, I think me and Lindy, on top of the, like, other ones we have to say, that I think that's, like, one of our other top up there.
Easily. Fuck, 5-5? Fuck yeah.
5-5.
Fucking love 5-5. Now I like 5 minus 2.
5 minus 2. Yep.
5 minus 2. Because there's 3.
There's 3. 5 minus 2. Or 3. No, you can't even do 3.
Because I was trying to show that girl today at work who 5 was, because I was like, I showed her their original, like their first album cover of them all like laying down like in the circle.
Yep.
With the 5 in the middle. And I was like, does that look familiar? She's actually, yeah, like that does kind of look familiar. And I was going to play a song for her, but then other people walked in the locker room and I wasn't going to do that. I was going to subject them to that because, you know, it's just not cool. Right. And so I go through their list and I go, oh, they have a new album, 2022. It's called Time. So I click on it. It's got 14 songs. I'm like, I have something to fucking listen to tomorrow.
You're like, yeah, I'm so excited.
Like, of course, I didn't discover this until like the very end of the day.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Otherwise, I would have listened to it today, and then I would have had a review for you on
right?
it. And maybe
we would have had
episode.
Next episode. We'll do a quick little touch on it.
Yeah.
So from 5-5, our next large big boy band, I guess, out of Europe was Boyzone. They went from 93 to 2000 and then 08 to 2019. And then Ronan Keating, who was kind of like the main guy in it, he did have a solo career for a little bit. When I was going through them, I found the Pictures of You, which was actually on the Mr. Bean soundtrack. And Mr. Bean was in the video with them. Like it was really funny, cute little video.
Familiar.
Yeah.
That sounds really familiar.
And in the video, they're all wearing his brown suit, obviously, as they're like in the video and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It was a cute. That up again. It was a cute little video. They had, and then obviously, they did No Matter What, and like there was Boyzone had a whole bunch of big hits as well. Like they were probably with 5-5 the next biggest like.
You think
UK
that's where
band.
Fuller House got their idea for Sexy Zone?
Oh, maybe.
Sexy Zone.
Right. And then this one, I think I found them very much later, but Lindy listened to them earlier and forgot how much she loved them. My Town, they ran from 96 to 2001. And they had a song Party All Night. And I remember the video where they were in like flashy, sparkly outfits or something like that.
I need to talk about this video. I need to talk about it.
Okay.
So I'm watching it today and I go, okay. So they pull up to this all-girls Catholic school. I don't know if it's Catholic because the teacher's not dressed as a nun, but I don't know, but they're all in uniform. All girls school. And the girls are fawning over them. And then the fucking teacher comes out and screams at them. And then what do? The girls let the boys in the gym so they can have a party with the 5 boys and the entire female student body. What the fuck? Great video.
Don't tell me if you weren't a teenage girl, you would not want to be locked in there with those 5 boys either. So
yeah, but I wouldn't want any of the other girls there.
Well,
that's the difference.
I know, but still.
Yeah, I bet those guys were tired by the end of the night. Just saying.
Right? Not gonna lie.
But oh man, yeah, those flashy suits were something fierce.
Something fierce. I just don't remember them.
How much I like that song.
Party all night. Party
and I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. I remembered half of those fucking dance moves.
Yes.
I'm watching it and I'm like in my like I'm at work, so I'm I'm inspecting and stuff. And so I do like, and they're very kind of easy moves. Like they're all leg movements. Like you don't really have to do that much. So I'm like doing them, and I'm like, and then I stop halfway through realizing what I'm doing, and then I don't remember the rest of them, and I'm just like, where the fuck did that come from? This shit that's buried in your subconscious.
You have no idea.
It was the same with like watching "I Give" by Take 5, their video.
Yeah,
I remembered a lot of those dance moves too.
Yep. I can still remember the beginning of my tap dance from when I was like 8 years old. So
honestly, how much I enjoyed pop music and stuff like this as a teenager would be the only reason why I'd want to be 16 again. The only reason.
It's true, but the music nowadays is, I don't know if it's as
no.
I mean for them. Oh, back then. Okay.
Then. Like I don't mean like I want to that would be the only reason to relive being a teenager.
Yeah.
If you could.
Yeah.
I would hate being a teenager now. Oh my God.
Right.
I keep seeing all this stuff about Doja Cat, and I've never even heard a fucking one of her songs.
I don't even know if I have or not. I might have through, I don't know. I'm not sure. But apparently Danielle loves her. But
did you hear Britney Spears and Elton John did a copy of Tiny Dancer?
I did not. That's cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I don't know if it's released yet, but I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm excited too. So also with My Town, which I found fun later, Mark Sheehan, one of the members of it, later became formed the brand The Script. It does a song like Break Even and The Man Who Can't Be Moved.
I love The Script. They're so good.
So one of the members of My Town is one of the members of The Script.
Well, that's fucking cool.
There you go. So next we have BB Mac, who had Back Here. They ran from 96 to 03 and then 2018 to present. So again, apparently a lot of these bands in the last few years have all kind of gotten back together for, I don't know, nostalgia purposes, I guess. Then we had Blue. Apparently they were really big in Europe. I only remember the one song from them, which was All Rise, which was basically about a court session or something like that. If you remember.
I cannot listen to this song anymore.
I can't either. It's so bad.
I can't. It's so, as my stepson would say, cringe.
So cringe.
It's super cringe.
And it says here that they ran from like 2000 to 05 and then 2011 to present. So I'm like, that's the only song I remember from them. I don't remember anything else from them. So how did they have such a long career? I have no idea. Has to be a big Europe thing. And then there was Code Red. Couldn't find much on them. Couldn't find any songs by them, which was 96 to 01. And then Another Level, which was 97 to 2000, which again, couldn't find anything on them. So again, that's what I said.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't know
known boy bands, guys. Like some of them much lesser known.
Yeah. If we missed any, please.
Please let us know. Like,
and let us know what you think about all of these boy bands. Who were your favorites? Who did you hate? Like any songs?
Who did you love? Who did you hate? Who did we miss? Who deserves a second chance on us listening to maybe now that we might not have listened to back in the day? You know, let us know. We love your feedback. We want to hear from you. And then make sure to do all of the fun stuff on Spotify and YouTube and all that. Rate, subscribe, follow us. It helps us, get more people to listen to us.
Oh, and if you have any stories of meeting any of these bands, I would love to read about those.
Yes, we would love to hear and read about your celebrity stories.
Your celebrity interactions.
Did you meet a boy band back in the day?
Or even just any celebrity interaction too. Yeah. I would totally read that.
I was gonna say a lot of them did go to like local malls around that time. Like they were going to malls all the time.
I don't meet a lot of famous people, so I like to live vicariously through people that have. So, yeah, send those stories in because I would really like to read those.
Right? We want to hear them all. So, yeah, let us know. And I guess on that note, that is our episode for today.
Yes. Please go out and listen to some of these bands because they're great, and
Yep.
their music's amazing.
And you
And
might, like back in the day, you might not have known about them or heard of them.
yeah,
Maybe songs you might have thought sucked, but no, you give them a second look, listen now, and some of them actually are pretty okay, pretty decent. Some of them are still just as cheesy as they were back then,
some of
but
them are super cringe,
yes, some are super
but
cringe, but some are just
I
still as good.
mean,
Like I
some
rocked
are.
out to Bang Bang Boom with the Muffets. It was great. I forgot how, right? Forgot how good it was. Like
Like, okay, and I know it's not a boy band, but I really got to mention, because like it would just be hilarious if you've never heard the song before and you listen to it now in like your 30s or 40s. It'd be hysterical. Squeeze Toy.
by the Boomtang Boys. Won't you be my
Yes.
squeeze toy? Who I also saw on that same weekend. I saw B44.
Who opened for the Moffats at Lulu's, that bar that is no
No
longer
longer
open,
there.
and where
Yep.
I almost got fucking trampled by pubescent girls.
It is
I had to be
now.
pulled out of the crowd by security. I
I
made
think
eye contact with Scott.
a lot of people did that night.
Looked right at him. He looked right at me. Yep.
And on that note,
Have a good night, guys.
We will check you out on our next week's episode, where we will be trying out freaking crazy old school workouts.
Oh,
We've been trying them for the last few weeks. I know I've been trying them for the last weeks. I saw Lindy try hers this week.
I've tried a few.
We're gonna try some of them and give our feedbacks on them, and they're gonna be hilarious, guys. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, it's like my buns don't feel like nothing like steel.
Do they feel like steel, Lindy? Do they feel steelish?
My buns don't feel nothing like steel.
Nothing like steel.
Nothing like steel.
And on that note, we'll see you in 2 weeks, guys.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.